Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing an exclusive interview with the Marvel Hasbro team. We have Dwight, Ryan, and Dan. How are you guys doing today? Thank you so much for having me. And I really appreciate being here in the chair, talking to you guys today. And I apologize for the dipping out during the live stream. I had a birthday party to attend to, and I was going back and forth, and of course it caught me while I was getting the bouncer set up for the kids party. So
an empty chair.
Just
so,
an empty chair. Family first.
So yeah, no, it's not just an empty chair right now. But I want to thank you guys so much for your time. I have a bunch of questions for you here. And yeah, I just wanted to jump right into it. I'm excited for the 20th anniversary or the 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends line. I liked seeing the Captain America. That looks awesome as hell. I'm excited for the Iron Man figure. Really liking the new Tony head sculpt. So jealous. That thing looks so sick. And yeah, that's the color blue I wanted. Like right after the 80th anniversary one came out, and I remember, oh, that'd be cool to get a lighter blue color, and that's what I was. Yeah, I think that looks amazing. But well, first off, we've talked about this plenty of times before, but price increases, because there's a lot of people that still don't know about that. So just to inform people, price increases. I'm aware of it, that freight shipping has just gone up. Hasbro has publicly announced it and has publicly stated that there has been increases in freight shipping, and if you guys could just confirm that again, of that being a big cause for price increases on the products, right? Just
So I'll say, Russ, that like prices, and I think even we mentioned it in our quarterly investor call. So if you guys want to go back to talk to that, like they'll give you a lot of context for anything that's going on, right? It's not just toy prices that are up. I think if you go to your grocery store, like you'll see other things going up. Ultimately, though, like prices are not set by Hasbro, prices are set by the retailer, right? So that's one other thing that I think fans should be aware of, is that like it's really dictated not by us ultimately, right? Like we have a say and suggestions of things, but ultimately, prices are set by the retailer. And again, I encourage people to go to the investor calls that we have quarterly, right? And those are publicly available so that people can go back to and see what's going on. Like you mentioned it on your videos too, how you've seen, all these other factors influence prices, right? And you've been very transparent about that too. So, I mean, we can confirm that all those things are happening in the world. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to get.
That, yeah, like things are very, very much on a day-to-day basis changing, right? And it's just how the global economy is at this time. So I think there are so many publications that really do a better job than how we can like explain it. But yeah, the world right now is just still feeling repercussions from this global pandemic.
Just to clarify too, if anyone goes in and reads, it was actually in the second quarter Hasbro from a couple months ago, and then a few days ago, the third quarter, they talked about it again. But so when we talk about rising freight costs and input costs, and then when Hasbro raises prices, that's raising prices to the retailers, right? And then there's a suggested retail price, but then from then on, the retailer set it at whatever you want. So that's why, when we see those photos from retail of various prices out there, and then everyone wants to kind of pile on, it's kind of that's on the retailer to set those.
And that kind of makes sense too, seeing that like most of the Hasbro Pulse Marvel Legends on there are still at like the $22 price range, right? Like those are still there, but you may see prices from other retailers be a little bit higher, right?
Yep.
Because it's you guys setting the price. It's your, it's your store. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that if I didn't think it was like the world economy, I'd be so much meaner to you guys about it. I'd be so mad. Well, but I understand the situation. And I just wanted another explanation behind that again, because it seems like there's a lot of people that still are not aware, But anyway, as far as the questions that I had sent to you guys to talk about, the 20th anniversary wave, I am hoping to see some other figures come out from that wave one, such as possibly a Hulk and maybe a Toad, and you know, because those are obviously part of series one. Can you give us any news or any uh details at all about there possibly being those figures coming out around the same time, or would that be later in the year, or is that even a thing at all? I don't know. Is there anything you could say about it?
Yeah, so we're really happy with, you know, celebrating in 2022 the 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends. That's like a great accomplishment. And shout out to Dwight, Jesse, and everybody else, you know, who's been here since the beginning. You know what I mean? I think if you guys all, you know, tuned into PulseCon towards the end when Dwight was, you know, showing the back of package, we clearly mentioned two characters that you can expect to be in part of series one, right? So I think there's a very high possibility and a high chance that you will see those two characters that Dwight talked about at the end of PulseCon. And yeah, we hope that the fans continue to support, you know, this celebration. It's really because of people like you, Russ, and the community that has made 20 years of Marvel Legends possible. So shout out to you guys, really.
Oh man, well, hey, thank you for that. But I think it's you guys keeping the line going and having the open ear. I think it's like there's a synergy of, you know, of talking and listening that I think is really awesome to see. I don't think I would have ever imagined something like it where we could see a bunch of fans asking for something and then seeing it actually happen. It's pretty amazing. Like I got this Tigra figure all the way up there that has these pinless double jointed elbows, and she freaking took a nosedive, Tigra. Damn it. But I have my Tigra figure. Where did she go? Great. Right before recording, she fell. But I did, where for real? Dude, I love that figure, okay? That's the point I'm trying to make, is that I love the pinless double jointed elbows, and wow, that's embarrassing. All right. Well, anyway, the I'm looking forward to seeing that stuff. I felt like it was pretty much a given as soon as you guys announced the Captain Iron Man, but just wanted to, I don't know, I feel like that's enough confirmation for me. We're getting those figures. Will we see any revisits to Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man figure at all next
So
year?
yeah, we don't actually know what's going to happen in this December film. We've only had a teaser trailer, so you know, who knows what the future might hold. And I think a lot of it will depend on what is actually in the film, because we don't fully know everything, as is the case with Endgame, right? I think there's going to be a lot of important things happening in this film, safe to say. So we could always go back and revisit if we need to. And then just a reminder, um, when there when we do figures and there is not an unmasked head in, there's a reason for that. It's not because we think people don't want the unmasked head versions of things. There's business considerations, and if it's based on previous films, there's licensing deals, you know, that need to get done. We were able to do the movie X-Men after many years of negotiating and a acquisition, a formal merger of the companies. So you know, things are complicated, but we love those films too, and we'll try in the future if it's at all possible, I think.
All right. Okay. And will we so you may have heard that a lot of people complained about an unratcheted knee joint here and there on a particularly large figure that has not taken a nosedive. Okay, so this one is standing just fine up there. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys if there's any how did I phrase this? It would have been nice to see ratchet joints in the hips and the knees on the figure, and a little bit more of an ankle pivot. Those are like my three gripes. Other than that, I'm really, really happy with this thing. The light up feature is actually surprisingly incredible, like as far as posing and everything. That like extra right there, I really like. These things hold up like crazy. So I mentioned three negatives. I'm mentioning three positives over here. But the wrists have ratchets in them. And I had my Rogue wrapped inside one of these with the Sentinel holding it up, you know, full 90 degrees out. And it stayed like that for a week until I got bored of it and wanted to change the pose around. You know what I mean? Like it, so that has held up. But I think people are curious to know if we might see some ratchet joints in the HasLab Galactus knees and hips when that figure comes out.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, we're super happy that you're loving your Sentinel, and we're very happy that a lot of our fans are loving theirs as well. We are taking a lot of learnings from Sentinel to figure out how we can improve upon Galactus to make him an even better experience for the fans. The Sentinel was the first time we had done something like that, and I agree with you that the ankles didn't end up moving as much as we wanted them to. So that was a huge point of adjustment that we worked really closely on Galactus. And while we don't have Galactus models in hand yet, the check models that have been built have an amazing range of motion for his ankle rockers. And his skirt has been designed in multiple panels so that it can flex and move out of the way. So while Galactus just mostly stands there, you'll be able to put him in some really cool poses, we think. And we're definitely looking to improve upon the ratcheting system that was used in the Sentinel to make it an even better experience for Galactus when that comes out to you.
Okay, cool. So you've heard the complaints maybe, and you guys have taken notes is basically what I'm hearing here.
Yeah, we always listen to the fans, and I know we can't always respond to you guys as quickly as you guys would like, because you guys can spread your news like wildfire through the internet, which we understand. But we do hear it, and we always want to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to deliver the best experience for all of our fans. And every time out, we want to figure out a way to do better and improve our game, which I think is kind of a testament to the Legends line in general, right? We're doing things now that we weren't even possibly thinking about doing 15 years ago. And it's always evolving, and we always try to improve for you, the fans, to give you the best experience. And if you're going to put your hard-earned money down, we want to make sure that it's worth it to you. So
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, there's some people that have taken things that they've seen as shortcomings as acts of malicious intent from you guys, and I've never felt that way about it, but that's for some reason that's how people will take things. I have time for one more question. One more question. All right. um has have you guys looked into multiple color injection molding techniques? I've seen I've actually only seen one other company do this, but I think it's something that I would, as you guys seem to push the technology, you seem to keep looking, I'm still stoked as hell over, pinless double jointed elbows on the female figures. That is awesome. So I know you have that mentality to
mhm.
want to keep pushing things forward. Dual colored injection molding. Have you guys looked into that? Is that in the possible future, or I don't know?
It's actually in the past. If you look at some of our Iron Man figures, I can't remember the name of the armor. Uh, but one of the comic armors for Iron Man done around, I think around Iron Man 3 timing or slightly after, had a co-molded torso between his reds and his golds. So there are a handful of characters in our line that are co-molded in just that fashion that you're describing. So we have done it in the past. As we go forward, it's more about working with our vendors closely to find a balance between technology for the sake of technology and using technology when appropriate to deliver the best experience at the best cost. So there's definitely a balance between that. The co-molding process can be done. We've done it before, but there's rules and regulations and limits to everything. So we have to balance how we want that figure to be used in the future and what we think we're going to be getting out of it to decide if using co-molding techniques is the appropriate way to develop it, or if there's a different way to look at it. So yeah, no, I'll try to find you those what the armor was, and I'll send you a picture or something so you can check it out yourself, because I'm sure you have it in your collection.
Yeah, keep
There's
them
just
all.
there's one that's sticking in my head.
It's not the Iron Patriot, is it? Because that seemed to
No, it was a bulkier armor. It was classic. It was that armor that was in that international set that had the Tony Stark head that never shipped in the States. There was like a big multi-pack, but that armor has a co-molded torso.
Okay. All right. I'd like to follow up and figure out exactly which figure that is. Someone in the comment section is probably going to say it
Yeah.
already, but I'm out of questions. Just one last request is if you could add bendy wires in that animated Doc Ock figure, that would be great. I really hope to see, because the thickness of the Mr. Fantastic arms could be the diameter of those arms could be about the same as tentacles for a Doc Ock. So I think it could work. Looking forward to it. Fingers crossed. But yeah,
Cool.
Doc Ock's my favorite Spider-Man villain, and I hope he has bendy wires next time you guys release him. Deluxe version, I would expect. So my request has been submitted. All right, sweet.
He is that armor from the animated look is always on my list when I beg Dwight for something. So don't worry. Yeah, but with bendy wires, it's always it is a little bit more costly. So I just want you to know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
don't even know how you center those things inside the mold to make sure that. Well, anyway, that's like a bunch of details, but like how.
I hate to interrupt, guys, but the team actually has to move on to their next interview.
Right. All right.
But
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the time. I could go on about bendy wires, but appreciate your time. Thanks so much for the interview, and looking forward to more stuff from the Marvel Hasbro team. Catch you guys later.
See you,
take
Ross.
care, Ross.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,